Morning Marketing Podcast is brought to you by Esther of IPA Group, bringing premier online promotion to your business.
And Melanie of Stomp Social Media Training, who empowers business owners to manage social media and marketing for themselves.
And welcome back to another episode of the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. Today we're talking about marketing your discount codes and special offers. So we've all seen it. We have all seen the buy now at the best price ever. This offer only lasts for the next 10 minutes, etc. Right? Creates a bit of urgency, creates a bit of, it must be interesting, because like if so many people are buying this thing, and that's why the price is going up in 10 minutes, then I should really check it out, right? Now, I'm exaggerating maybe with the 10-minute thing, but we could be talking about early bird discount codes. Where else have you seen it?
Well, I've seen this kind of sort of sense of urgency when people are trying to close the doors of maybe a marketing webinar or a special event. And I can understand that relevancy, weight, time, that's all very important. And unless you give a sense of urgency, people are in the middle of doing something. They're driving somewhere, they're going shopping or walking around a shop or a store. And so unless you tell them that you need a response to this in a timely fashion, they're just going to put it off.
Yeah. And we're not saying there's anything wrong per se about doing it. What we're saying today is that it's the false urgency that is misleading and wrong. So if you, for example, I've been on websites recently where it says, one day only, such and such is on sale and best offer, and all the words that you can think of to describe this urgency for buying this product or paying for this service. But you log in the next day and it's exactly the same. Or you go onto a website. I've gone into a website recently where 20 minutes, you have 20 minutes to lock in a discount code, but if you refresh the browser, the 20 minutes starts all over again. So I saw recently from a legal perspective called Sparqa, Sparqa legal, that they're now starting to clamp down on these misleading urgencies in places like Voucher, which is an online discount brand. It's basically like you can go there and buy anything for up to 75-80% off or whatever. But they're some of the main ones. With being so big, they are seen more for doing this because lots of people are online, seeing, it says that this offer ends on such and such a date at midnight. But you go in the next day and the offer has refreshed.
So you think it's cheapening? And people aren't actually believing this.
Yeah.
And so they're not enacting. So we just need more people to sort of kind of mean what they say. And maybe you haven't sold enough tickets. We get that. But instead of say keep on doing it, and people are going, oh my God, I've got to do this by tomorrow. And then they open up their phone the next day and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've got another couple of days. Maybe think of another shock tactic that can motivate people. Maybe you can suggest, an affiliate code instead of a discount, so that they can earn more from it in a different way. Or maybe you can say, those who've signed up previously, if you sign up in the next 5 days, you'll get a free ebook or a download or something you don't really need to give any huge amount of time or effort to. Once you've done it, it's created. And then anybody after that will still get a discount, but they won't get the download, So there's still ways of pushing people down your funnel, but you're not having to keep on continuing this extended offer.
Yeah, and I think too what really irks a lot of people is, for example, the early bird. The early bird ends at such and such a time and such a date. And then that's all well and good, say it does end, and officially, the website does say that it's no longer valid. But then 2 weeks later, an even better offer comes on the table. So it's like, 2 for the price of 1 at the early bird price, for example. And that would just annoy me. That would be like, well, I got in at a time that was supposed to be early bird. Sometimes it just makes me think that the promoter is a bit desperate, and it gives the vibe of, well, if they haven't sold enough tickets, just how bad is the event going to be, or how little information or value are they actually going to give if they're having to go down this route of discounting and discounting continually.
Mm.
It is perception. Perspective. Well,
And you can't just think it's always going to be new people that come across your website. There's, or your special event. It could be a past client, and they're like, "What again?"
yeah.
So, one thing I've been saying a lot recently, Esther, and I think I've not really appreciated it until the last couple of weeks, is we are in the business of managing customers' expectations.
Yeah.
And these expectations can go up and down.
Yeah.
And we can be disappointed by going to one event and like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. And then your opinion kind of drops for any other events you go. You don't expect as much.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can't help what past experiences our clients have had. None of us can.
Yeah.
But we can try and meet or even surpass expectations for them when they come to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you are marketing your event or your product or service, by all means, you can use these early bird tickets or reduced discounts and etc. But don't overuse it either. Know your value. We've talked about this recently too. Know your value. Know how much you deserve to be getting for your time. If you want to give it away for free for the first 5 people, do that. But stick to your guns, and it's only the first 5. If those 5 seats fill up within 30 minutes, charge a nominal fee, charge a bit more, there's other people that I know of that were selling 100 things, and the first person could buy it for $1, for example. The second person bought it for 2, 3, 4,
Oh
5.
yeah,
And that's perfectly, viable as well, because then
that was awesome. That you told me that earlier on
yeah,
this year. That
yeah,
was such a cool
it's a
idea.
really good idea. Obviously, there's plugins and there's apps for doing all these things. You don't have to manually sit there and go, "What number person was this now?" But it gives that's almost like a better sense of urgency to go, "Oh, I wonder how much I can get it for." If I can get it for a $5, then I'm all for it. If you're unlucky enough to get in last, then you're like, oh, well, it's good for them that they filled up all the spaces and they were able to sell the 100 tickets. You're still going to get exceptional value from people that give exceptional value.
But then you'll know that's meeting. You know that person offers that kind of thing, and they'll want to get in there first the next time.
Absolutely.
They'll
Absolutely.
want to ring that notification bell or see all posts, so that they don't miss out next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great example.
Yeah. But it's when, like you were saying, for memberships, that they open their doors for a certain period of time, and only for this period of time it's going to be something with a 7 at the end, because that's always the price, isn't it? It's like 47, 27, something, 97, only for this limited period of time. And then they turn around like 3-4 months later and they open the doors again, but it's now, instead of 47, it's now 27. And you're going, well, why did I pay more? Why am I paying more? Surely they should be increasing the price the next time they open the doors. So be very careful.
You do have to be very careful. I mean, there's one person that I bought into as a membership that was like, I think it was 27 a month or something like that. Or maybe even cheaper. It might have been 22. I think it was 22 a month. And because I bought it at that time, it was 22. And then each month new members would go up. It would go up 23 the following month, 24 the following month, 25. So similar, but it would be exactly. I mean, obviously, the longer the membership had been open, there'd be more value
Yeah, of
because
course. Of course.
because they keep on putting new trainings in, new courses, new downloads. But to get in there and be first,
Yeah.
you'd get all of that anyway at a cheaper price.
Mhm.
So it's really explaining why that price is that price and for how long. And if you get in early, you'll get all these benefits anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you could end up, like it's called grandfathering, getting in at the ground floor, and maybe there's not a lot of things going on. There's not much in terms of value in the membership, but you have locked in that price and you will get everything else from now on for that price. Like you and I are both members of Digital Women, and
Yep.
we got it locked in at a price that has not come back round again because it was
Nope.
when it was started. So, there are
We were
people.
early adopters.
Yeah, and there are people that should be valued for that, for believing in you from the early stages. Also be careful of these online claims, guys, of, this will work and you don't need anything else, whether it's from a service business or a product business. And, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is,
Hmm.
you know.
We're not cynical at all, are we?
Well, we've been around the block. I'm not saying we're old, but we've
Yeah.
been around the block. And but just be aware that these things, they are starting to clamp down on them. If you are going to be promoting your product or service in one of these ways, they are starting to clamp down, and somebody could report you. Because there are a lot of people out there with very little else to do, and they like to just make life harder for small business owners. Stick to your guns, stick to what you know, stick to your value and your costs, and you will fly. Okay? And on that note, we'll wrap it up and say bye-bye for now, and we'll be back next week with more Monday Morning Marketing. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a great week. Do you know, in all the sort of chats we were having about discussing this, you didn't mention half of those suggestions.
It sort of comes to me in the moment.
This is why we don't rehearse.
Exactly. If we did, it would be so boring.